Howdy, Possum Patty here, and this is very exciting. Well, not as exciting as the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, I just watched that. That was pretty exciting. It was a photo finished. Horse won by one nostril of his nose. Yes. Anyway, a couple of more stitches, and my Just Because journal will be finished. Oh, it's such a long time in the making, this journal, I know. I don't even remember when I started it. I'll look that up. But just a couple of more stitches here. I'm putting the last two pages together. I like to put a little bit of a soft padding in between, maybe some cotton batting or something. And then I'm pretty sure that this is done. So I'm going to finish this up, and I'll give you a little flip through of the last few pages that I've been working on. And just a small haul from the Dollar Tree. Has to do with fabric, so I'm sure you're going to want to see it. Come on along. See, I put a little piece of this cotton batting on the inside, and I just wish you can feel this, how soft. It's like a teddy bear. Yes, it's so soft with the cotton batting in there. It's very cuddly. It's a cuddly journal. It's a journal you can cuddle with. Yes. I thought I would finish this while I was watching the Derby, but it just got too exciting. It got too exciting. While the two favored horses were banging against each other, the horse on the inside went right to the photo finish. Won by just a nostril. Super fun. And I'd say, like 95% of this journal was done in the car. So there's a lot of wonky stitches. A lot of wonky stitches, yeah. But that's okay. That's okay. This is just because it's just for fun. It's not like, fancy embroidery or cross stitching or anything like that. It's just using up scraps and things that I have around and throwing everything into this bag and taking it with me and, just having some fun. Well, some pages in here are just very simple, very easy. Other ones I put quite an effort into. Depends on how I felt at the time. Okay, here we go with the very last stitch. Just making a knot there, and the journal is finished. Yay! So I went way back on my channel, and yes, I made the cover 3 years ago. Matter of fact, I made 3 covers from Vera Bradley pocketbooks, just like this one, cutting out the squares of material. And I found an old video when I was working on putting, I believe it was this one together, or maybe all of them. I'm going to have to watch it again, but I'll link it below. And I know I was going to put paper signatures in here, because I actually found them the other day when I was cleaning up a little bit. But then 2 years ago, I decided it would be my slow stitch journal, and I was following hashtag just because. Well, there she is. My little chunky monkey journal is finished. It's so soft and cuddly. I will put the playlist below if you'd like to learn more about this journal. This is where I started collecting the color registration marks right there. And this is a fun interactive story page. Let's go, and the family hops into the car and goes down the street. And they travel all night through the forest. And then you open it up until they get to the mountains and the fields of sunflowers, and they set up camp. Yeah, that was a lot of work. That was a lot of work, that page, yeah. Well, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. That was 4 pages. And then I have a simple page. This was Easter. She's got a little lamb. Just put an applique and decorated around it. And then it was summer, strawberry picking time. I made a little strawberry there. And then I was thinking about the children in the Ukraine, and I made this blue and gold. I had this pin, this little girl pin from when I was a teacher. She's got a little teddy bear there. And this is my fave page with the twigs and the rocks. But I love this material in the background too. This was an experiment. I was painting the muslin here, and then I put stitches on it. So this is like the first painty fabric experiment with stitches. So you can see how it will evolve. You can always keep your first experiments because you want them. No matter how they come out, you want them, and you want to evolve from what you are doing. Yes, keep everything in your journal. Don't rip out pages you don't like. Never do that. I made a fun little bird house. And this page, all I wanted to do was put some colored stitches on these peacock feathers. I made a fun little ladybug there with a lot of legs, right? I made a little sunflower up there. Oh my, it's a black-capped chickadee already. Sewed a lot of beads on this page. I tried to make a little owl over here. There's a lot of stitches in the background, but I tried to put an owl and collecting more color registration marks here. So sometimes I just sew in an applique, and sometimes I make something handmade. I like to mix it up. Oh, and then I started getting Happy Mail. This came in Happy Mail, and this came in Happy Mail, and this came in Happy Mail, and this came in Happy Mail. And then I started forgetting who gave me all these things, and I started putting their names here. This is from Angie. This was one of my mushrooms I made. Oh, and this fabric came from Janet. And then I made a little tree. I don't know why. I don't know, I get an idea and I try it out. Oh, here's some more of those little wooden bird buttons. And then, oh, my sister gave me a few things that belonged to my mom after she passed. And I love this little pin. My mom had this crazy hair, white, not black though. So that reminds me of her with the glasses. And I put Mom over there. Oh, and this fabric here came from Liane. I sewed her name there. Put a little mermaid tail applique there. And I think she gave me all this fabric here. And then another Christmas, and this was, my sister used a red cardinal as her, Christmas motif. And so I sewed that in here. Made a lot of French knots on this page. Christmas. I think I got this at a yard sale. I just sewed it in and had a fun time making these beads all around the edge. And this is for my, I used this material on my Asian glue book. I had some leftovers, actually a pair of pants I got at a thrift store. But this was for Chinese New Year's. And this was for Chinese New Year's too. Isn't that pretty fabric there? And I added these gold tassels and gold stitching on the lanterns. I believe I shared this not that long ago. Just made a little fairy doll. Little heart on the back. And then a sparkling star pocket for her to live in. I need to make some more dolls. A little bit different than that. Oh, and this is my masterpiece. It started off as an experiment with something I had no idea what it was that I bought at the Dollar Tree. It was a pigment, and I tried painting on fabric with it. I'm sure I have a video on this. It's in the playlist. And all the paint came off, and then I tried mixing it with some medium, and then it stuck to the fabric, and I painted this beautiful tree, and I sewed it in the journal, and I put some stitches on there, and I've got some beautiful browns and grays and blues and purples on the trunk, and then I outlined the branches coming up, and I added this gold mesh with these little green stitches, and the green stitches are actually sparkle embroidery floss. I just put a couple patches here and there. I wasn't about to cover the whole painting, just sort of highlight different areas. I added some of these leaves, and then I took some of the purple sparkly, and just kind of whip stitch around the top there. So I love this. I love this so much that I might do a lot more of this in the next journal. I think this is going to be the next journal. It's got a wide spine on it. That's okay. So I'm going to sew in a couple of signatures with pieces of fabric, and maybe I'll use plain fabrics. What does it matter? You could probably paint on a pattern too, right? Doesn't matter. Okay. I'll think about that. I'll let you know when I'm working on that, okay? And I bought a couple. I have some crayons and markers and different things to paint on fabric with and do a little bit of stitching. So the next journal might look more like this. It'll be more work, but I think it'll be fun just for something different. More painting with a little bit of stitches added. Oh, I did this the other day. I had these little pieces of fabric, and I said, why don't I make a flower? I made like a cone flower. It's got little stamens coming up, but you can't see them because I wound up sewing this little bee I got at the Dollar Tree there. And then the petals weren't showing up very well, so I kind of outlined them in that red, and I put a bunch of French knots there. It's a little bit of an experiment. Oh, and then, Janet Nash, I'll link her channel below, was making really fun slow stitch cats and puppy dogs and everything. And I was like, well, let me try a possum. And I had some scraps, and I had a pink tail there. They came out good. It's hard to see the features on the face because of the fabric I chose. So I might have to try some more possums. It's got a little pink nose there, and little eyes are closed. Little possum ears. But that was fun. That was fun. I was working on this in the car the other day. I had a gift bag that was orange burlap, and this green was like where the ribbon went through, and this was the top. And I said, I can make some little carrots out of that. I think the gift bag came from the Dollar Tree. So I just cut it into a carrot shape and did a bunch of sewing. It was really hard though, because once you cut the burlap, it starts falling apart. So I had to kind of whip stitch it around the sides because it was all coming apart, and do some extra X's on there, and added a couple little beads. I had this beautiful fabric I got at a yard sale. I didn't want to sew the carrot to the page, so I put these two little plastic buttons that look like flowers. They really matched the colors, and a little piece of green ribbon, and just poke it in there. I like interactive anyway. And speaking of interactive, I had sewn this material down to the page because I love the color registration over there. So I made it home for little bunny bun. Doesn't quite look like a bunny. I know it's a round bunny. It doesn't matter. Oh, here's some of that padding. I love the cotton batting. But he lives in the little pocket there. Now he's got a carrot in his garden. This could be Peter Rabbit. And this can be Mr. McGregor's garden, right? There's the carrot. And I had made this flat page because I love this material, and I hadn't sewn anything on it. And again, color registrations, that's what I'm all about. I was collecting them, I guess. And I had gotten these appliques from the Dollar Tree. So I said, well, let me just sew them on there. The heart color goes nice with the flowers. And then the rainbow mane on the unicorn was so cute. And I actually sewed him to the material and then whip stitched the material in because I'd already sewn these pages together and it would have been too hard just to sew the applique down to that page. This just made it a little bit easier. And then my little interactive bunny with the snap. And then the very last page, I had some buttons in a tin in my bag. Where are they? And I said, oh, I'm in the mood to do a button page. I'm just going to take a bunch of buttons and sew them onto the page because I really want a button page in this journal before I finish it up. Well, I found this bird button, which was in another tin. I've got all these little tins in here. I said, oh, I forgot I had all these wooden buttons in here. I got little kitties, and I got fish, and I got hearts, and I got little kitty faces, and I got butterflies, and I got some beads. So I even forgot these were in the bag. They were at the bottom of the bag. So I took the little bird and I said, and I sewed them on, and I'm like, I was just going to put buttons on the page. And I was like, well, you know what? The little bird needs a branch, and I started making a branch, and I'm like, well, why don't I just sew a bunch of buttons on over here like a tree? So this is the tree, and this is the little branch, and there's my little bird right there. And that's the last page in my Just Because Slow Stitch journal. Now I have a button on the front and a button on the back, and at one time I believe I had a pink ribbon. I don't know where it went, but I had a pink ribbon to wrap around the buttons. Okay, I'm just trying to wrap this around like that and get it to a point where I could tie the bow. Okay, I think I got it now. Yes, okay, this will work. Yeah, so I think this was the plan, but I didn't plan on it being this chunky. So there she is. Ta-da! A completed journal. Yay! I love it. I love it. I don't even know if it's going to fit on the shelf, but that's okay. All right, well. One more thing to do. We're going to move her aside. Oh, I love her. I love her. Well, we popped into Dollar Tree the other day, and I was looking around. Really didn't need anything. Well, yeah, I need a toilet bowl cleaner. I went in to get some toilet bowl cleaner, but, you know, I have to check out the Crafter Square items. And I found a couple of pieces of new summer fabric. Yeah, I know I hauled some a couple of weeks ago, but these are really fun. Just wait till you see these colors. Ta-da! Look at this yummy orange fabric. Haven't even opened these up yet. Pull this off. Look at that. Yummy, 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 right? I found 5. I don't know how many come in this set. I was thinking maybe there would be a darker color besides that, but there was light orange and dark orange, so I knew they went with that. And then this one, this just has to go with that too, right? Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it when the stripes are not solid, when they have this little bit of a watercolor look to them. The teal. Yes, so yes. Right? Awesome. Very yummy. Very yummy. I have no plans for this, but I'm sure something summery will come out of it. Well, I might be a little late for this. This is supposed to be Friday's video, but it is a triple hashtag Friday video. It is a hashtag Friday Fun Finds from the Dollar Tree. It is a hashtag Finish It Friday, finished my journal, and a hashtag Flip Through Friday, hosted by Kristina down at the shack. I will list her information in the basement down below. Yes, a triple Friday hashtag on a Saturday. Well, I'm sure somewhere in the multiverse it's still Friday. Thanks for coming along today and happy junk journaling. Bye bye. When in doubt, play dead. Life advice from an unexpected source. With enough time, most problems resolve themselves. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 or even 100 years? Opossums only live for about 3 years, which means they have even less time than most of us to waste on stress and drama.